Hi, my name is Christina Davila. This is my part 2 dissection video. I'm in Physio-Psych, the graduate version, and yeah, this is the area I'm going to be dissecting in. Here's my sheet brain. And then here are my utensils. Okay. Yes, it's the introduction part, so open. Okay, so before I start the actual dissection, I stuck a few pins in this just so you can see like some major areas before I start opening up. So this pin right here, so this is stuck into a cranial nerve. So there are actually 12 pairs of cranial nerves, and they exit the brain as part of the PNS. So right here at this pin, it's not fully on here, but this is the optic chiasm. And of course, this is the area at the base of the brain where the optic nerves cross in order to form optic tracts. Okay, right here, I stuck a pin in one of the mammillary bodies. So these are part of the limbic system. They're in the hypothalamus, and they're involved in the processing of memory, but especially like emotional memory. Okay, and so this is stuck into the spinal cord, and of course the spinal cord carries messages to and from the brain. Okay, now I'm going to flip it over right here. So this is the olfactory bulb, also part of the limbic system. So this structure is responsible for the processing of olfactory information right here. And I can pause it. Okay, so another two structures that I wanted to talk about on the outside before I start dissecting. So right here, this entire structure, this piece, of course, this is the cerebellum. I know you nickname this the tiny brain or little brain, but this is involved in coordination, balance, and timing. Okay. And then I wanted to talk about the outermost part of the brain. So this is the cerebral cortex, and all of it just, yeah, the most out part of the brain, the most outside. Okay, so this is most developed in humans, and I know that you showed us a diagram of this as well, compared to other like species, and yeah, ours is the most evolved and developed. So this part of the brain is responsible for the highest level of sensory and motor processing, as well as the highest cognitive activity. You can pause. Okay. So I also wanted to talk about, before I dissect, the 4 major lobes of the brain, and I can show this better in the actual dissection, but just for now, before I do that. So of course the frontal lobe is all of the front right here, and this is involved in a lot of things, movement, memory, decision-making, and judgment. This is the part is more fully developed when you're about 25, which is why teenagers behave really badly and act like they have a part of their brain missing, because they kind of do, but it's not that it's missing, it's just not fully developed until about 25, which makes sense. Okay, so the parietal lobe, this is the top. I know you said like by your ponytail, so it's kind of at the top right here. And this is involved in proprioception and memory. Okay, so the occipital lobe is at the back of the brain, and that's of course involved in visual processing. And then the temporal lobe is by your temples right here, of course involved in memory, emotion, and hearing as well. Okay, that's enough. Okay. So, and then I wanted to talk about the fissures and gyri as well. So this one right here, of course, this is the longitudinal fissure. This separates the 2 hemispheres, and this is actually composed of a bundle of cell bodies. This is gray matter, and I'm going to open that up so you can see better. And of course, it separates the left and the right hemisphere. So, and then the gyri, I can show these better also when I dissect, but for now I'll just show right here. They're located in the parietal lobe. So the precentral gyrus would be right about here, and the postcentral gyrus would be right about here. The precentral gyrus, this is the fold it is the location of the primary motor cortex. So this is the part of the brain that's devoted to the processing of movement, motor movement, of course. Okay, and then postcentral gyrus. So this is the fold that's the location of the primary somatosensory cortex. So this is also within the parietal lobe. This is part of the brain, or this is the part of the brain that's devoted to the processing of sensory information. Okay, you can stop. Okay, so now I'm going to do the actual dissection. So I also wanted to make a quick note to the video before this, or the section before this. So this fissure is not the corpus callosum. The corpus callosum's inside, but it's the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm gonna cut now. Oh my gosh. Oh god. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Now hold that head so it doesn't.
Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Keep slicing, keep slicing.
Okay.
You don't have to go hard, just quick. Or, yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yay. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. Can you pause it again? Okay. So I went ahead and pinned the rest of the structures inside. So here, I'll show you this structure. Or maybe I can point to it. Yeah. So this structure, this is pinned inside of the corpus callosum. So right here, and that was what I was saying earlier was the fissure, but it's in the same spot. But well, no, the fissure is more lateral, I know. But so this is the bundle of gray matter, and this connects the two hemispheres of the brain right here. Okay, so I'm going to go down here to the pons. The pons. So I know you nicknamed that the point of decussation. Way down here. Okay, it's this one right here. Okay, and the pons is involved in arousal and pain and attention. Okay, and so our pituitary gland is this one. It's kind of cut off right here, but you can see the bulge coming out. And of course, the pituitary gland produces and controls hormones. Descartes believed that this is the gland that was responsible for having a connection with God, but that was proven wrong. But that's this pituitary gland. This is famous for that. Okay. And then up here we have the thalamus. Or I'm sorry, this is the hypothalamus, and this is the thalamus. Okay. So this one, this is the hypothalamus, and this is the thalamus. Okay. So the hypothalamus, this is involved in a lot of things. It's involved in sleep, eating, sexual behaviors. It controls body temperature, and it regulates the HPA axis as well. So a lot of things for the hypothalamus. Then the thalamus is over here. So this, you nickname this the grand central relay station because this is where all the sensory information is received in the brain, except olfaction. I know that. But it's just received here. Nothing is actually processed here, but everything is actually received here and then goes to other parts of the brain for the actual sensory processing aspect. But I wanted to emphasize, because I know you emphasized to us, that nothing is actually processed here. This is just where everything is received, except for olfaction, which is why you named it the Grand Central Relay Station, because it's like the Grand Central Relay Station in New York. Like everyone starts there, but then they go somewhere else. So yeah. Okay, thank you.